Good morning. Good morning. We are live on our Wednesday morning lives. Mark is in Costa Rica at a medicine retreat. So I got McKenna, my daughter, here with me. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning, guys. So happy to be here.
Yeah, this is really fun. So, this is what we're doing now. We're going live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern to talk about all things microdosing. We've got thousands of microdosers at Mama Dose and Warrior Dose. And there are so many questions. How many questions do you think we get a day between email, text, and Tidio?
Probably 100.
100,
So many.
150. Yeah. So we decided to come on here every Wednesday morning for, a little while and just talk about microdosing. And if you guys watch us live and you want to jump on and ask questions, jump right in and join us. Yeah. So today it's me and McKenna. Mark is in Costa Rica. He went down there to do some medicine. I'm going to be meeting him next week and going and sitting with our tribe, the Shawanawa tribe, there in Costa Rica. Let's see. So just about the Shawanawa tribe, 6% of all of our sales across all of our platforms goes to support the Shawanawa tribe. So when you purchase your microdosing, you are not just purchasing towards your own mental health, but you're contributing to the welfare of this tribe, which they're amazing. So
Yeah, they're such a beautiful tribe, and our family feels so connected to them, and we feel so grateful that we are able to work with them. And I personally can't wait to go and drink medicine with them and sit with them in person. I just can't wait.
yeah, they're amazing. I'm going to be leaving this time next week. I'll be headed to Costa Rica to go sit with them for a few days, and we're going to actually be talking about. This is more of a business trip. I don't like that word because this is my life. It's not business. It's my love. But we're going over there to talk with them about bringing them. They're going to be coming back to the United States to be serving their beautiful medicine sometime next year. So this is the first conversations about that. Those are our dogs. Those are our dogs. We can't help this stuff
I'm
when
gonna
we're live.
I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea. Okay, so we are just here for a minute. If anybody wants to hop on and ask a question, just come on in. Ask a question, or you can put it in the chat box. We can ask questions there too. So today, for a few minutes, we're going to go through some of these Q&As that we have been accumulating. Okay. So, of course, one of the most biggest questions people ask is, how do I start microdosing? What is the protocol of microdosing?
Right. Yeah. So for a lot of our first timers, and we get a ton of first timers that come to us, we do actually have a 2 week first trial course that they can try. And what we recommend is that they do 4 days on, 3 days off throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our microdose capsules are 200 milligrams each, which is a pretty perfect amount for most people. Some people like less, some people like a little more. And what's nice about the capsules is you can actually break them apart and take only half or even a quarter, say if your tolerance is a little lower when you want to start lower. So yeah, we have a really great program for first timers.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if it is your first time, people come into this and they think that if they take a microdose, they are going to have a psychedelic experience. But that is not the point of the microdose. The point of the microdose is to not have a psychedelic experience. It is a subperceptual amount, which means it is 1/10 of what you would take for a dosage for a journey. So that is the whole point, to not feel it. But with that being said, you can feel the energy of it, right? So you can feel the medicine. So we tell everybody, if you feel it a bit too strongly the first time, open up that capsule and pour half into your tea or coffee and take the other half the next day. And if people are coming to these medicines on Western medications, SSRIs, anti-anxiety, it usually does take a little bit more psilocybin to work its way through those.
Right, exactly. And also, people who are dealing with physical ailments, the energy from the mushrooms will also go to healing them physically as well on a cellular level. And what's great about the mushrooms is they're so good for your brain. And they help promote neuroplasticity. And so they help you break those old patterns of thoughts, those old behaviors, those old addictions that we get stuck in over the lifetimes of repeating the same behaviors. And what the mushrooms do is they come in, they literally break up those neural pathways and help you create new ones so that you can create new habits and new behaviors and move your life forward in a new healthy way towards the goals that you want and leave behind the old patterns that you don't want anymore.
So true. So true. And that's why psychedelics work. That's why they work, because they actually, I mean, they say that there's no, new, you can't grow a new brain, and that's not true. That's not true. You actually, the psychedelics allow for establishing new neural pathways. And the neural pathways are the way which the information comes in. So when that information is coming in differently, your perspective changes, right? Ray Card always says, like, here it is, right? Here's your life. Your perspective is up here. What happens is it moves and it changes. So your life is the same, but your perspective changes. And when your perspective changes, anything is possible.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Let's talk about those functional mushrooms for a minute, because Paul Stamets, the famous mycologist, he talks about, they call it Stamets stacking. Okay, and that's when you combine the psilocybin with the functional mushrooms, which are, there's a bunch of them, but turkey tail, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, all of those. Um, so the way that he does it is he stacks those functional mushrooms, the powder, on top of the psilocybin. So you're taking it at the same time. This is amazing. We used to do this at Mama Dose, but we decided that we would like for you to know exactly how much psilocybin you're getting. So we put only psilocybin in our vegan capsules. With that being said, oh, did we lose sound?
I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Cool.
still hear you. Okay. So with that being said, we always recommend that people also start taking those functional mushrooms. We order them from a place called Octagon Farms, which is, you can order them online, and they are the tinctures. We take them every single morning. Or you can go onto Amazon and order the Sacred Seven, which includes all of those mushrooms. We recommend taking them every single day of your life, right? I mean, there's a great documentary out there called Fantastic Fungi. It's all about Paul Stamets, microdosing, macrodosing, and most importantly, those functional mushrooms, and how good they are for your brain health and your gut health. So run out right away, watch that, and go buy those functional mushrooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, mushrooms are beautiful, and mycelium too. Something that just came to mind for me is they actually help, like say in a forest, if one of the trees are sick, the mycelium is all connected in to the roots of the trees, and they can actually send information from the sick tree to the rest of the trees, and the trees are able to send information and energy to those trees to help them heal. Um,
Wow. I think I might have gone. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my sound here, but I think we're good. Mycelium is incredible, and I always tell everybody that I'm talking with about microdosing that psilocybin is the great connector. It is. It's the great connector. It connects us to each other. It connects us to all beings on Earth. Right? You have a different view of all beings on Earth. It connects us to Mother Earth herself in a way that is really indescribable, and it connects us to ourself and to Source. So whatever Source is for you, it's the great connector. I get chills. I love psilocybin. I think it's the most incredible medicine. It's amazing. Yeah, it's a beautiful medicine. Well, we're just gonna, if we have any questions, we'd love to take them. But in the meantime, I think I'd like to ask you about your microdosing experience, McKenna, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, microdosing has helped me in my life so much. For me personally, in my past, I really struggled with eating disorders and certain addictions. And I feel like with the mushrooms and with the ability that they have to create those neural pathways, it's really helped me literally rewire my brain so that I don't fall back into those old patterns, into those old ways. And for so long, they were ingrained in me, just as these like almost like automatic behaviors that I wasn't even conscious of, that I just kept falling into because it was so deeply ingrained in my brain. And with the mushrooms, it helped me really start to change my perspective about myself and change my perspective about my relationship with food and change my perspective about my relationship with my body, and therefore create new thought habits and new ways of being that are healthy and having a love for myself and Yeah, it's been beautiful, and for me personally too, I feel really connected to music. Music is my whole life, and I feel like with mushrooms, it really helps me tune in more. It's almost like, the sounds are amplified and the vibrations are amplified, and I can really connect to music much deeper when I'm on mushrooms, which is another beautiful thing. So yeah, it's been a really amazing, beautiful journey for me, and I've seen mushrooms completely change my whole life, my whole family's life, and it's been the most beautiful blessing ever. So I just couldn't say enough about how microdosing has changed my life.
It really has changed our whole family's life, hasn't it? Yeah, it really has. We have our Mama Doe's house in Colorado now, right? And McLean is there. And yeah, I mean, mushrooms are incredible. Well, let me ask you this when, because this is the funny part, right? There's such a stigma around these medicines. And it is so deeply ingrained in us that these are drugs, right? And that these are bad and we shouldn't be doing this. And even after I had as immersed in this world, I had gone and done my first ayahuasca journey. And your dad actually called me one day and he said, I think it would be really good for McKenna to microdose psilocybin. And I was like, what does that mean? And he said, well, she would take psilocybin every day or, on a regular schedule. And I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you even say that? Like, why, why would she take this every single day? And da-da-da? You guys, we are so programmed to believe something. It's like you take a supplement every day, you take a vitamin every day, right? You take your probiotics every day. This is the same thing. You are not taking a microdose and walking around hallucinating that, there's unicorns in your house. That's not what this is about, right? This is about really connecting and taking charge of your own mental health.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. What's so important to us here is to give the power back to you guys and to the people, and not say that, you know, we're here to heal you, or this like pill is going to heal you, but it's this medicine that helps you look within and realize that you are your own healer, and you are the one who's going to be able to take that power and change your life and shift from the inside out, and that no other outside person is going to do that for you. And so it's really beautiful to see how much this medicine can empower people.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, we are raised and our whole lives to believe, especially in this Western world, that guy in the white coat has the answers, and he knows my body, and he knows my mental health, and he knows better than I do. And at the end of the day, that's just not true. Now, I believe in doctors 100%. Western medicine is very important. My brother is a physician. If I am having a heart attack or I have a broken leg, you bet I want a physician there. But I don't think that they have got the ruling on the mental health. I just don't. And I think that we know ourselves a lot better, and these medicines allow us to understand that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And in my personal experience, to be super raw and vulnerable, I've been to a lot of different I really struggled with my mental health for a lot of years, and I ended up in a lot of different like hospitals and
Mhm.
psych wards and on a lot of different medications, and had tried everything, and nothing ever worked and nothing ever changed, because when I was just given some pill or some antidepressant or put away in some place, it was only like temporarily covering the band-aid, and it was never getting down to the root of the issue. But with the mushrooms, it's not about just taking something and covering it up, or doling it out, or pushing it away, or repressing those feelings and those emotions and that experience, but it's about actually bringing it to light, and transmuting it in a healthy way, in an easy way, where you feel connected to earth and to spirit, where you can really let go and heal that on a cellular level and literally release it from your body. Because when we have trauma, it's stored in our body and it's stored in our cells, and the only way that we're able to release it is when we actually bring it to light and transmute it in a healthy way. And the way that my life is now, working with plant medicine, I mean, I am so happy. Like, I just feel so blessed that I'm finally in this place in my life where I can finally say that, like, I'm deeply happy in my heart. And of course, I have like my ups and downs throughout the day because I'm human, like, that's part of it. But it's not this like deeply terrible like despair that I lived in for most of my life. It's like I feel this like true happiness, and I wake up in the morning, I'm just like so like glad to be alive, and I just like love my life and just like love this medicine, and I love our community, and I love connecting with people, and I just want to like share this so much with the world because it's like, oh my gosh, here I am, and like my most of my life I didn't even want to be here or do this
Mhm.
anymore, and it's so hard for me to wake up in the morning, and now it's like I am so excited to wake up in the morning, and just to be able to say that is such a blessing for me, and to say that, like, I can go and sit and enjoy a meal with my mom, and not have like a mental breakdown at the restaurant. Like, it's just like a miracle for me. I mean, I can't even explain how much this has changed my life, and I just love it. And it's like this true healing. It's not just like taking an antidepressant and pushing it away. It's like I've really healed that, and I don't have an eating disorder anymore, and that is just, I can't even believe it. It's just the most
Well,
beautiful thing.
dis-ease of the mind causes disease in the body, and you're talking about traumas and repressing and repressing and repressing, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're 30 years old, you're 35 years old, you're 40 years old, and you have an autoimmune disease. Wow, I wonder why, right? And then what happens is those Western medicines and the SSRIs, and there's a time and a place for them. There is. I mean, people can be in crisis psychosis, and those can help. They're not meant to be for the rest of your life. And
Right.
because what happens is they go in and they close those A2 receptors. So you don't feel anything. You're numb. And that's the point. And sometimes that's what you need, and that's necessary.
Mhm.
That's necessary. But not forever. And so what the psilocybin does is it goes and it opens up those A2 receptors, and it brings to light, like McKenna said, all the shit. And then you have to face it, and you deal with it, and then you release it, and then it's healed.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I agree. Like, at some points, those were necessary for me. I needed that numbing, because I wasn't ready or
Mhm.
in a safe enough mental space to be able to deal with those things. But once I was ready and I could move on from that and start really like dealing with it and bringing it to light, it's just amazing.
And I've watched. I mean, obviously everyone knows you're my daughter, but the struggle with the mental health came to fruition at age 11 for you. And that's tough. I mean, that's so tough as a mom, to try to understand what is happening here. You're 11 years old. So it's been, now you're 27.
26,
26.
I think.
Sorry. Um, you know, it's night and day, but it's been a lifetime, just like you said, of struggling to find. So anyway, very cool. McKenna, thank you for sharing your story. It's important to be open and vulnerable so that other people who are struggling with the same things right now understand there's help, and it's not a quick fix. That's the other thing that really needs to be understood. This is not just taking a microdose in the morning and by 2 p.m. your life is better. That's not the way it works. I had somebody message me last night. She said, my husband and I took our first microdose today. My anxiety is not gone. I don't feel any different. And I get that, because again, in the Western world, we're given a pill within X amount of days. We feel better. That is not the way this works. This takes time. It took a long time for you to get all those traumas and hold on to them. It takes a minute to release them and work through this. And especially with the microdose. I think the last thing I'll say about that is what I always say in consultations is, when you go on a journey, whether that's with a big medicine or you go on a big psilocybin journey, that is getting hit over the head with the psychedelic 2x4. When people say they had 20 years of therapy in one weekend, and that kind of thing. Microdosing, you can absolutely receive the same benefits. It is much more subtle. Much more subtle. So it might take a minute to really understand and realize those benefits.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lifetime to all those years of those same thoughts and those same neural pathways that are building. It's like a river, and it just like the more that it runs, the deeper it goes. And so therefore we have to go in and just keep chipping away, every day a little bit, chipping away and creating those new neural pathways. And
Yeah.
new habits and changing
Yeah.
your life and moving forward.
So come to mamadose.com. We are here to help you. We have warriordose.com. We have the plant medicine path, which is, all education, information, integration. We at Mama Dose, we offer free 15-minute consultations if you have some quick questions, or if you need further help than that, we've got coaches. We offer any support you need. We've got it. We've got our feature, our product of the month. And this month we've got, I can't get it in here. This month we have our 90-day supplements. They are right now $75, and it's 3 months worth of mental health right here. Because that's what this is about. This is about making your mental health healthy. This is not about recreational. This is not about anything other than mental health and spirituality. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and we believe that everybody should have access to this medicine and that it shouldn't have to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to be able to get to have help, with your
Yeah.
mental health. And so we want everything to be accessible for everyone. And so we do have the different tiers. We have the 2-week trial course, which is only $24.99, and then we have the 30-day and the 90-day and all these other things to be able to cater to wherever you're at.
And we never want anybody to not be able to have access to this medicine because of finances. So please just reach out to us. We are here to help. Vets get 20% off. The first time buyers get 20% off. We have, Mama Dose offers a sale every single week. We're here to help you get this medicine. So, all right. Well, thanks so much, girl. This has been fun.
Right?
I didn't remember how old you were, but that's okay. All right, you guys, come to mamadose.com. We're here to help every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be here.
Thanks, guys.
Have a beautiful day.